What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Mind Something. If you're new here, my name is Jake, and in today's video we got so much to talk about. Even the announcements or the summary is going to take a minute to get through, so bear with me. First, let's talk about the Flux Halving. Next, we're going to talk about should you stake on TrustWallet. Then we're still hitting solo blocks on Nexa. Also, Kaspa creates a funding pool for Kasbridge, enabling Dexs and cross-chain bridges to EVM and BNB chains. Next, Kaspa also has a mobile wallet coming, and then we've got BzMiner releasing another beta fix for latency issues, and then a very important discussion about Nexa's 5,000 confirmations, and then lastly, Ketchup. It makes good thermal paste. So, without further ado, before we get into it, do me a favor, hit that like and hit the subscribe if you haven't already. And instead of taking a look at the market first, I just want to show you guys this chart that I created. If you didn't catch Sunday's video, I basically took a look at what could potentially happen after Flux has its halving. We've got about 6,380,000 souls currently on Flux. And if you get 72 souls per 3070, that's going to give you about 88,611 3070s total. And I basically use this formula to kind of predict if we see hash rate migrate from Flux to some of the other coins, how that would impact each network. So in terms of 3070s, if 40% of the network hash rate migrates, that's the equivalent of 35,000 3070s. If we lower this down to 30%, you can see that affects all these numbers. But I know that 100% of the hash rate is not going to migrate to a particular coin. It will probably spread out. So if 1/3 of 30% were to migrate, that's 8,772 3070s. If it went to Ergo, that'd be about 13% increase in network hash rate. If it goes to Nexa, that's about a 17% increase. If it goes to Kaspa, that's about a 4% increase. And if it goes to Radiant, that's about a 56% increase. And I thought it was interesting to see the difference between Flux's total hash rate compared to Ergo, Nexa, Kaspa, and Radiant. You can see that Ergo has 2.3 times the network that Flux currently has. Nexa actually has a larger network right now at 1.7 times. Kaspa is 7xing the amount of hash rate on Flux, and Radiant's at about 50%. I'm sure that's going to change drastically after the halving, but let's go ahead and move on and take a look at the market. So time of recording right now is 10:30 p.m. January 22nd, 2023. Bitcoin is coming in at $22,706. Ethereum $1,631. XRP at 40 cents, Cardano at 37 cents, Dogecoin at roughly 9 cents, Solana at $24.50, Polygon at $1, Litecoin at $88. Let's see, we've got Monero at $178, Ethereum Classic at $22, Toncoin at $2.28. Let's take a look at Kaspa first. So Kaspa is down about 2.23%, sitting at 0.0058. And then we've got Radiant down almost 4% at 0.00076. And then Flux is up about 0.3% at 66 cents. And there was one other one I wanted to take a look at. Let's take a look at Ergo. So Ergo is down about 2% at $1.72, and Nexa is still continuing to pump, sitting at 0.0000912, and we got up to 926. And honestly, I really didn't expect this to continue. You know, I kind of speculated that we were putting in a bull pattern or a bull pendant pattern, and yeah, maybe we'll get a couple handle out of this and continue to go up. Next, moving on, let's take a look at mining pool stats. So taking a look at emissions over the last 24 hours, of course, Bitcoin is on top, Dogecoin followed by Litecoin, then Chia, then Zcoin, or Zcash, excuse me. And Kaspa is sitting at $141,000 a day in emissions. Then we've got Ergo at 66,500, Flux at 60,000. Now Flux's difficulty is down about 5.5%. Ergo's is still going sideways. And then Kaspa is down about 6.3% on the week. Dogecoin is up almost 13%. Litecoin is up about 5.7%. Next, let's take a look at profitability on a single 3070 at 10 cents per kilowatt hour. Lithium currently coming in at 1 cent profit, tied with Radiant at 1 cent. Look at this, Flux has moved up to -5 cents, followed by Kaspa at -6 cents, and Ergo right behind it at -7 cents. And then we've got ETH POW at -11 cents. Let's go ahead and take a look at CPU mining profitability. So right now Pulsar is at 65 cents in profit, Pandanite at 15 cents, followed by Monero, and then Raptorium at 1 cent, but Bitorium and everything else after that is in the negative. And looking at ASIC miner profitability, the KA3 still on top at almost $50 a day, and we've got the K7 for Eaglesong coming in at $16.44. The BzMiner is coming in at $3.57 a day. I'll just scroll down the list a little ways so you guys can see a few of the rest of them. And then next I wanted to talk about staking on TrustWallet. Now I don't know if I trust TrustWallet. I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that would vouch for it, but any type of staking service makes me slightly leery. And I'm interested in your opinion and would like to see your comments down below. And I think it's interesting to be able to stake in your own wallet and keep custody of the coins. I don't understand exactly how this works, and I've read up quite a bit on it, but I want to hear from the community. So if you guys would chime in, if anybody is doing this, are there any pros and cons that stand out to you? I would like to know, but I can tell you right off the bat, something like Osmosis getting 84% APR is pretty outstanding if you're able to keep the coins in your own wallet. And then you've got Binance Coin coming in 11%, Kava at 10%, Algorand 6%, Cosmos at 7%, Tezos 5%. Look at this, Terra's still here at 4.2%, and then Tron. Out of this entire list, I would possibly consider holding some Cosmos and some BNB. Anyways, yeah, if you guys would leave your comments down below. So next, I am still currently solo mining Nexa, and we have had some pretty good luck so far, I must say, but our luck may be running dry. So prior to the test of Viper.io, we did hit a block on Viper.io. That was when the fee was 1.5%, and since then Viper.net has gone live on Nexa, and we have hit 2 blocks with about 4 gigahash, and the last one was about 23 hours ago. So we're doing quite a bit better than we should be statistically, and I'm thinking about calling it quits, but I don't know. I think we'll give it maybe a little bit more time, and if we don't hit a block within the next, I don't know, let's say tomorrow when I wake up, then I'm personally going to consider stop solo mining and take my wins and yeah, take it and run. Anyways, moving on. I noticed something in Kaspa's Discord that is very interesting. Our community member CaffinPX created a protocol for using Kaspa on other EVM blockchains like Ethereum by a multi-signature maintained by trusted community members, Bridge. It will let us list Kaspa on Dexs like Uniswap, or will let people hold Kaspa on EVM wallets like Metamask. This proposal is for creating a fund pool or a funding pool that will be used as a grant for implementation of said protocol. Target value is 3 million Kaspa. Bridge creation stages and ETA. First stage, a Ropstein Kaspa testnet bridge with test validators will be deployed. That'll be the milestone, and that will be milestone number 1. and will take about 2 months. Second stage, a Kaspa mainnet, so we'd have BNB chain, Ethereum bridge, the exact target blockchain to be decided by the community will be deployed. That'll be the milestone number 2 and will take about 1 more month after the first stage. Suggested protocol details can be seen here. All code would be open sourced on GitHub under MIT license. How's it going to work? A group of respected community members will form a committee to monitor the progress and decide whether a certain milestone is reached, upon completion of which a respective part of the fund will be released to Kaffin and his teammates to be shared among them on their discretion. Number 2, a new address in the existing pub fund will be created to collect funds in Kaz and distribute it at every milestone in equal parts. And it obviously got voted up, and it looks like it's going to take place, which is excellent. And one thing that you'll notice with Kaspa, it seems like funding takes place in record time, and hopefully this will go through very quickly. And in case you guys are not part of their Discord, I highly recommend that you join and voice your opinion on matters like this. And then also Kaspa is about to release some mobile wallets pretty soon. So Caspium is an easy-to-use cross-platform Android and iOS non-custodial mobile wallet for Kaspa network. Send and receive Kaz from the convenience of your mobile phone. Caspium features an easy-to-use interface with support for multiple wallets, transaction history, address management, and easy authentication using device biometrics. Caspium is compatible with 24-word Kaspad CLI wallet secret phrases. Note, Caspium is non-custodial, meaning the user is solely responsible for the backup of the wallet's secret phrase. The secret phrase is only stored securely on the user's device. Loss of secret phrase will result in loss of funds. So good things coming out of Kaspa. And I know the price is dipping a little bit. Let's go back and look at this chart real quick. So I think some people are disappointed that Kaspa isn't pumping with the rest of the market or with BTC at the moment. But if you look at this chart, this still looks like a very healthy chart to me. We've had a pullback. We've had a nice little pump. We may roll over. You know, this time of the cycle, usually alts are going to bleed against BTC and some of the major alts. But, you know, these low end, I shouldn't say low end, but low market cap coins like Kaspa are really going to struggle to keep pace during this phase of the cycle. But hopefully we'll see some good things here in the near future. So a couple of other things I noticed in Discord. IEDoc shared a new beta, and Viper.net also mentioned that there were some latency issues and that it would be best if you do update to the new beta, which is version 13.0.2b4. Looks like fixes share latency issue, everything from previous beta, fixes OC script not being set. And if you want, I will leave this down in the comments below and you can upgrade your BzMiner to this one, but I'm certain that he'll probably have an official version here in the near future. But if you're solo mining, I would highly recommend doing this update to make sure you don't have any latency issues. And then in continuation with Nexa, there was an important discussion that was had in regards to the 5,000 confirmations required in order for miner payouts. Now, some people love it, some people think it's stupid. Me personally, I'm still trying to decide what I think about it, and I'll kind of go over some of the things that were discussed here so you get a pretty clear picture as to why some people like it and why some don't. So Tommy MDQ chimes in and says, Wooly Pulley pays me in 36 hours. And by the way, Wooly Pulley is now a pool for Nexa. It's going to gain traction pretty quickly. I've used Wooly Pulley in the past, don't have any real quarrels with them, but I really want to see, you know, decentralization, and typically the larger pools like this make it very difficult. Now, one thing about Wooly Pulley right now, it only works with BzMiner, and it looks like they are front loading payments, and that's how they're able to pay you without the 5,000 confirmations needed for them to get their payment. So we'll just continue here. So they paid up front, guys. This 5,000 confirmations is coin based, not pool based. There's no pool that can pay you with the coins that you mined unless they wait 5,000 confirmations. We'll use some external resources wallet to pay up front. And then this person said, why would they do that? And of course they would do that because they're trying to get as much of your hash rate as they possibly can. And if no other pool is offering upfront payment, then obviously a lot of people would migrate to it. So they did the exact same thing on RXD. They want to be the top #1 at the mining pool stats. And then ViperNet chimes in here and says, let's be honest, 5,000 confirmations for a mine block is stupid. No other coin does this. And this person says, and profit switching so far has been minimized. And we start to get some responses here from the devs here. So you think the devs did this artificially, control monetary policy? How so? Once it's been mined, it's been mined. And then Paul chimes in, so you think devs did this for no reason? And he asked him to enlighten him. And then Cybernated Coinage chimes in here as well. He's one of the mods in their Discord and said, it's to avoid hash rate swings, extra 51% protection, and to give people something to piss and moan about. And Paul can chime in here too. So anyways, I'm not going to read every single thing in here. I'll just kind of scroll down so that you guys can see it. But one thing that I'm noticing is it seems like some things weren't really thought out very well far in advance. So what we're running into right now is a larger pool can front load this because they have deep pockets. In other words, they can buy a bunch of Nexa and then they can pay you in advance while they're waiting for their 5,000 confirmations for the blocks that you mine. Now, it might seem like, hey, all's fair in love and war. This is a competition. They're doing what they can, as would anybody else. However, in the spirit of decentralization, we don't want to see too much hash rate go towards one pool. We've already been in this situation with our plant. We know that they had a monopoly with WildRig going, and it seems like there's a little bit of deflection here. I'll say specifically from Paul. I've had this issue previously when trying to ask him about some of the other things that were going on. And for example, here he says, everyone working at Bitcoin Unlimited is an independent contractor. Anyone free to work on whatever project they like. Bitcoin Unlimited as an organization did nothing to support Pool 137. What he's referring to here is a comment from, let's see here, Wisco Crypto. The dev team partnered with 137 to offer instant payouts. And he's saying, don't spread BS. We didn't partner with any pool. 137 had instant payment for CPU miners. It wasn't part of the Nexa team. It's not BS. It's well known that a member of your team is helping Doland. So, when I see conversations like this being had where it gets a little bit heated, I'm seeing some cooler heads prevail, such as Cybernated Coinage. But again, seeing a little bit of deflection from some of the other devs in here, and it's hard to feel like this is a community-driven project when Bitcoin Unlimited seems to be controlling everything. And for that very reason, I said the following. So a couple of things here. So one, if the 5,000 confirmations isn't enforceable at the pool level, what's the point? As IotaPie pointed out, it does give an unfair advantage to pools that can front load payments. Do you guys view this as something all pools have the ability to do, and therefore it's a level playing field? And it's worth having a discussion about. And one other thing that I asked here is, I think the conversations being had are good and important. And by the way, Cybernated Coinage shared a link where voting takes place on Bitcoin Unlimited. And I said, thank you for sharing the voting details. Question, how could we in Discord community participate? I signed up for Bitcoin Unlimited's forums in hopes to learn more about the confirmation, but the confirmation email has not come through. I checked my spam folder. Is there any way to implement proposal ideas here to be passed on to voting? To which Griffith replied, SickPig might still have to manually do the confirmation emails. Reach out to him for that. So in regards to that particular comment, number one, why isn't it automatic? Are they screening who gets to join the Bitcoin Unlimited forum? Why isn't it automatic? I mean, have you ever had a confirmation email not be automated before? It seems a bit odd to me. And then let me scroll back up here. One other thing that Paul had said. Let's see here. So yeah, back to this comment here. Everyone working at Bitcoin Unlimited is an independent contractor. Anyone free to work on whatever project they like. Bitcoin Unlimited is an organization. Did nothing to support Poll 137. It just seems like there are certain people in charge of this project, and those gatekeepers really don't want the community's opinion on how things should be done. It seems like a lot of people want to voice their opinions here, but it just comes across as complaining. Well, let's make it a community project. Let's not centralize this. It's extremely important for the success of this project that the community feels like they're involved and their voice is heard. So anyways, I'm going to get off my soapbox. That's all I'm going to say about it. We're going to move on. Last thing I wanted to leave you guys with was some good news, or I don't know if it's good news, but it's funny. So someone tested ketchup, potatoes, and cheese as thermal paste on some GPUs, and the results were quite interesting. Let me pull up this larger version of this. So on the left side, basically from here over, from a bit here to the left, everything is an official thermal pad. Okay, actually from maybe about right here, but there's some odd things in here. So we got ketchup. And look at this, ketchup is outperforming a lot of these thermal pads. I'm not sure how to pronounce this. I think it's drozzle stuff, something like that. Very, very poor performance out of that. But even some of these other ones, like Arctic TP2, half a millimeter, underperforms ketchup. I don't know what possessed this person to do tests like this, but I thought it was pretty comical and wanted to share it with you guys. Anyways, that's all I got for this video, guys. Do me a favor, hit that like and hit the subscribe on your way out, and I'll see you guys on the next one.